whether they like or not. I wanna show you up, I wanna show you up.
Hello guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I have 187 subscribers. So today we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to talk about healing from a father wound if you have a father wound. And I will also do a video about mother wounds. But I wanted to do this video because both men and women have father wounds, and you know, we have both men and women may have similar but different types of father wounds. So you may have the same father wound as your partner or a friend of yours, or you may have a different father wound from, you know, your partner. So I just want to cover this topic because it's very real, and it's like a lot of us are walking around with mother and father wounds, whether, you know, it's unhealed or healed. I feel like I have healed my father wounds for the most part, but again, I just want to do a video to shed light and to acknowledge the fact that father wounds do exist. So, have you ever experienced the lingering effects of a father wound? The emotional scars left by a strained or absent relationship with your father can have a profound impact on your overall well-being. These wounds often manifest in feelings, abandonment, inadequacy, a lack of self-worth, people-pleasing, codependency, and choosing or selecting the wrong partners, which have a lot to do with how you grew up, your upbringing, and, you know, your relationship with your parents and what they instilled in you or what they didn't instill in you and everything like that. So, yeah. So growing up, I did struggle with feelings of rejection. I struggled with my emotional needs not being met by my dad, and also struggled with my dad being emotionally unavailable. So I really didn't feel like I could come to my dad about certain things, or, you know, just like about basic things, or about my feelings and how I feel and everything. It was mostly my mom that I was always able to come to and vent to her about how I felt and everything like that. And so the unresolved pain or resentment I carried weighed heavily on my heart, and it made it difficult for me to fully embrace life. But also because my dad, I really don't like talking about like personal things, but, you know, some parents you grow up with are narcissists, and let's just say one of my parents was a narcissist, and you can guess which one that was. And if you don't know which one that was, you can always ask me, but it's pointing to the male. So yeah, and so that kind of made my life a little bit harder, because when one of your parents is a narcissist, or you're living with a narcissist and he happens to be one of your parents, that's where it gets really tricky. It gets really challenging, and you kind of feel like miserable and everything like that, because you're not getting the father that you deserve to have, or you're not getting the love or the affection from your father that you desire to have. So for me, what I had to do is I had to come to reality and realize that the father that I want my dad to be, he's never going to be that. And you know, although I love him and I care about him, he's never going to be the type of father that I always dreamed of having, or that I always wanted him to be. But this is why it's also important, because, you know, you may have earthly parents, like your earthly parents may not be who you want them to be, and, you know, you can't change your parents into being something that they're not, but you will always have a heavenly father who will be everything you need him to be. He's already everything you need him to be, and everything like that. But at the time, I wasn't really close with God. I want to say I was like lukewarm, but also I was straying on and off from God and towards God and everything like that. But I knew that I really needed, like, after leaving my child's father, although my father, I want to say, no, okay, so I want to say, like, when I was pregnant, I had already healed from my father and my father wound, but during pregnancy is when I healed from that. But it took me 26 years to heal from my father wound, because when you have, I don't want to say I had trauma in a sense, but when you have some, like when you experience childhood abandonment and childhood trauma, any type of childhood um, childhood abandonment, neglect, or childhood trauma, it could take you years to heal from that. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes some people 30, 40, 50, 60 years. It takes other people 20 years. So a couple decades. It takes some people a couple decades. It took me about 2.5 decades to heal from my from my father wound. And so, you know, healing, you really have to just heal at your own pace. And so yeah, to heal from my father and break free of the cycle of pain and self-limiting beliefs, and also to stop choosing the wrong type of man, I really had to, like this year, I really had to sit down in my stuff, and I really had to be like, okay, like what is going on with you that you keep choosing the same type of man in a different body, like a different man in the same body, or a different man who's basically like mistreating you, doesn't know your worth and everything like that. Like what is causing you to keep choosing, selecting men like this? And when it all comes down to it, I realized healing. I never had time to heal. I never had time to truly be single and to really self-reflect and everything like that, because again, I've been in and out of relationships since I was 24 years old. And so here I am, 27, about to be 28 next month. And so yeah, I just really needed this time to be single, to really heal and to really acknowledge my father wound. Although again, I've healed from my father wound, but when you are living with someone when you're still living with someone, that father wound can be easily re-triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be re-triggered because you're still within, you're still in proximity of them. So anything they say or do can re-trigger your father wound and everything like that. So yeah, self-reflection was a big deal. Therapy was also a big deal. And understanding my patterns of behavior and thoughts, and kind of realigning them with God and what He says and everything like that. So one pivotal moment in my healing journey from my father wound was the realization that I had the power to redefine my relationship with my father and rewrite the narrative of my past. And so by embracing vulnerability and facing my pain head on, I was able to cultivate compassion for myself and my father, although my father is complicated. You know, he's a complicated person. The shift in this perspective allowed me to let go of the grip of the father wound had on me, and move towards a place of acceptance and healing. And again, it is kind of hard when you are still in proximity, when you still live with this person, because again, they can re-trigger your father wound. But at the same time, I learned that it's really helped me in a sense, because I realized that I don't want to choose the same, I do not want to be with someone like my father, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to marry someone like that. I don't want to be with someone like that. And so it's helped me to realize, like, what I don't want to accept from a man and what I do want to accept from a man. And it's not to say that my father hasn't passed down any great and amazing tools and skill sets and experiences or whatever to me, because I'm sure that, yeah, he has in some ways. But so it's helped me to realize a lot of things, like what I won't tolerate and deal with a man. Even with my last relationship, it's helped me to acknowledge what I won't tolerate, what I won't enable, what I won't settle for, and everything like that. So, you know, if you have a father wound, it's really essential to heal from that father wound, so that you won't attract people who have unhealed father wounds, or so you won't select people who have father or mother wounds but are not willing or to put in the work to heal, to actively heal from those wounds. Because there's a difference between actively healing and not being perfect, versus choosing not to heal and choosing to repeat the same cycle and the same curses and everything like that. Like, I refuse to be with someone like that again. You know what I'm saying? Also, yeah, it's crucial to, you know, acknowledge and address these wounds with compassion and courage, but also with God's redirection, and because this holds the key to your true potential to live authentically. And so by embracing our vulnerabilities and seeking healing, we pave the way for a brighter and more fulfilling future. So I would love to hear from you guys if you would share your experiences in the comments below about your experiences with a father wound. If you have a father wound, what are some of the things and steps that you took to heal your father wound? Because for me, and also another thing I want to say for me, I think other than healing, it also took time, right? It takes time to heal from childhood trauma, or childhood abandonment, or childhood resentment, or whatever it is. It takes time to heal from certain traumas and certain things that you experience as a child or a teenager. It all takes time. And also, as well as time, healing, and also praying about it and going to God about it. Even if you don't see him working fully on your behalf, he's still working fully on your behalf. And so I definitely encourage you guys to reflect on your own experiences with your father wounds or emotional pain, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, you're not alone in this journey towards healing. So consider exploring more resources and videos on healing emotional wounds to continue your path towards self-discovery and empowerment, and also healing. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.